Well, good evening and welcome to Be More Super Live. I'm Bryan, your host, joined by my host with the most is Mr. Steve Jones. Steve, welcome to the show, sir.
Good evening. Great to be back again for another live
Ah,
after last week's incredible chat with James Madio. What a fun time that
oh,
was.
he was awesome, wasn't he? He's so just sort of like you can imagine him being like if he went to like a party or something, everyone just gravitate towards him because it just seems like he's got so many stories hidden, and I think that you can only probably get those from him when he's had a couple of margaritas. Um, but how are you, Steve? What have you been up to? What have you watched? Have you watched anything that's really blew you away this week?
Not really. Just getting excited about things that are coming up. So obviously the new series of Scrubs starts today. I was used to be a big Scrubs fan back in the day,
Yeah, was
so
it
excited
17
about.
years? 17
It's
years or
been a
something like
while.
that.
Been a while since it was. Yeah, I mean, I think it was 2001 when it first aired, and there
Yeah.
was about 9 seasons. So it has been a good long time. So yeah, looking forward to that. Obviously, Scream 7 comes out tomorrow. Those people that like a good sequel, that one's coming out. But yeah, I've not been. It's been a busy week, so haven't had chance to really sit down and watch a lot of things yet.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited for all the stuff that's on the way
Yeah.
soon.
I think with Scream 7 there's a lot of talk on the web at the moment because if I'm right in saying the last film that Neve Campbell was in, I think it was Scream 4. And if the calculations are right, because obviously you've got an actress playing her daughter in Scream 7, and because of her age, if you calculate it back in Scream 4, she would have been married with a 2-year-old. So where on earth is her husband in Scream 4 and where is the baby? So I don't know. I mean, Neve has come out in the press to say that, this is going to be more like Wes Craven's Scream. So
Yeah,
a lot less gore. But who
yeah,
knows? Who knows? I mean, we
very
all like a
exciting. There's
good,
some rumours
yeah, we
about
all
people
like a good
possibly coming
slasher
back from the
movie.
dead.
Hey, what's that?
There's rumours of other characters coming back from the dead. I'll say no more because I don't want to ruin it for people. But there's a possibility out there. So
Yeah, I mean, this week I've been watching The Night Agent on Netflix
love
because
that show.
that's come back for another season, and I just recently finished the Lincoln Lawyer
Oh
latest season,
yeah,
and that is such a good show. It's so good. But thank you everyone that's watching, wherever you're watching from. Say hello, comments, any comments, anything that you want to talk about, that you want to throw our way, please comment, and we'll put it on screen and we can talk about it. But a lot has happened this week. It's been a bizarre week. Not only did I hit one magpie with my car this morning,
what?
one magpie I hit with my car. I was saluting like nobody's business while saying sorry. And I was just trying to find another one, but there was only one. So I don't know what that means for me for this week. For anyone out there that is, superstitions. I don't know what that means. I know when you see one, it's one for sorrow. But if you hit it with a
Yeah.
car,
I
what
don't
does that
know.
mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you hit two, is it still joy? I'm not sure it's joy for the magpies. So
I don't know. I was looking for the second one, to be fair. I was like, oh god. So yeah, it's been an odd week, and we're going to talk about a few things. Some things, really positive, and obviously we're going to talk about some sensitive subjects. So if there's anyone out there that is struggling with the content that we're talking about, you know, we won't take offense if you want to turn away and come off the stream. But I feel it's right to talk about a few of these things because even though a lot of people shy away from it, it's important that we address it and we talk about it and we're open about it, because I'm all for mental health and speaking about things. But before we go on to some of that news, Alan Ritchson, have you seen Reacher yet? Are you a fan of that
oh,
show?
I love it. It's one of my favorite shows. I mean, I love the Lee Child's books as well. So and knowing that, did you know did you know this that Reacher he came up with the name Reacher in Asda.
Do you know what?
Did you know that?
Vaguely, that rings a bell. But what was it in Asda that made him? Did someone
I
reach
can't
for
remember the
something?
story. I was just trying to
Annoyed him?
recall, but
You
something.
know?
I don't know if he was trying to get to a really high shelf,
Wow.
and he was a bit of a reacher, and he got it. But I just remember not realizing that Lee Charles was British, and
Yeah.
that obviously the characters obviously an American, an all American. So
Yeah.
I love the show, must say. I think it's a proper interpretation of Reacher. Obviously, we've seen
Yeah.
the movies starring Tom Cruise. Not really the same character in terms of stature and brooding sort of strength. So, but I've really enjoyed the season so far. So, looking forward
Yeah.
to the next one.
It's completely different to the films because straight off the bat, Reacher is described as a 6'4" or something man, and obviously Tom Cruise isn't. He did a good job, but we're going to talk about the latest film that he's in that drops very, very soon. I think it's March the 6th. I want to say March the 6th. And this is him in War Machine, which, behind the scenes footage, it looks like he went through the ringer for this role. He wasn't holding back. I like the look of this film. I think that it looks interesting. Do I feel it's original? Do I feel like it's, any different to others? When we watch the trailer, I want you to tell me afterwards what this film sort of reminds you of, the concept of it. And I'll see if, you're on the same length as me. But yeah, I mean, let's have a look at the trailer, see what this film is about. And I'm sure at the end it will tell us when this film is going to.
Son, you're one of the most promising candidates we've ever seen.
But why are you here? I just want to get across that finish line, Sergeant Major.
Rangers are the spearhead of the United States Army. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir, Sergeant! Hey, slow down, Superman. Making the rest of us look bad.
You can expect your emotional, physical, and mental strength to be pushed to the limit. Keep your eyes open.
This company's going haywire.
What the hell is that?
Whatever that thing is, it's hunting us. And it won't stop. No comms, no flares, no firearms. We need to move. It's not about us anymore. It's warning everybody that thing's coming.
Rangers, lead the way!
You gotta be shitting me.
So there we go. That is War Machine. So what film comes to mind when you watch that it reminds you sort of the concept?
I kind of want to say Get to the Chopper. That's my first shout. It's
Predator.
like deep Predator vibes from that. I mean, I know I'm assuming it's an alien because of the sort of futuristic tech, but it's hunting us. The bit in the water, there's a lot of sort of, you might say, homage to Arnie's first outing in the Predator in the Arnie movie. So
Yeah,
definitely feels Predator-esque.
and it looks good. I mean, critics have called it a classic high octane action ride that leans into old school boom boom cinema vibes. But then, so a lot of fans online apparently are jokingly comparing elements to iconic franchises like Predator and Metal Gear jokes. I mean, Is it going to be different? It looks amazing. I mean, Netflix, even though a lot of people hate Netflix, they produce some great films. They do. Is it going to be any different to like Battlefield, whatever it was, that was in LA? Stuff like that. I don't think it is. So I think this film is being sold on the fact that it's got Alan in it. But yet we've got to watch it to actually give a full judgment to it. I'm not going to like write it off because it looks like a popcorn movie, where you just want to sit down and get entertained. But yeah, I mean, for you, is there any bits of that trailer that you thought, you know what, it's going to be a good film, or do you think it's going to be just a popcorn movie?
At the beginning, I was like, "Is this Captain America without the serum?" Because there was a lot of the similar sort of vibe going on there too. I think it looks exciting. Hopefully, I'll enjoy it. It's one of those where you go, it's either going to be brilliant or all the best bits are in the trailer, right? That you get movies like that and you think, but I'm always willing to give it a go, right? I never really trust what critics say and stuff. I'm always like, I'll make my own opinion. There's so many films that have been panned that I've loved and gone, don't know why that took such a disliking. Whether my taste in movies is terrible, I don't know. But, it's nice when we get these things drop on Netflix that we can just sit down in an evening and watch. You've not got to drag yourself out of the house to the cinema and sit with hundreds of other people and have people playing on their phones and stuff. So it's nice to be able to do that in the comfort of your own home straight away, when these things come out. So I'm excited for it.
I mean, Alan Ritchson hasn't really done a turkey in quite a while, with the exception of one of his latest films, Playdate. I don't know if you've seen it. But
I saw it advertised. I've seen the trailer and I was a little concerned, but
yeah, it was all right. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't like, oh my God, I've got to watch this again. I thought it was entertaining. It was funny in places, but yeah, it's not his greatest. And he's a great actor in Titans. Yeah. He was amazing in Titans. That was really flexing his acting ability. And obviously Reacher, amazing.
Yeah. Do you know what really disappointed me though? Is I heard him sing. So not only is he handsome and a great actor, but he can sing really well as well. So I really disliked him at that point. I was like, come on.
I think he went on, was it American Got Talent or something like that when he was younger?
I'm not sure. But
yeah.
You check out his YouTube or I think it's sometimes on TikTok and things. And he's done a few songs on there, saying Blackbird, the Beatles song and stuff. And incredible. It just makes you sick,
I've got to... see if he was on American Idol, and he was let me just see what date this was. Oh mate, it's not going to show me, it's not going to show. Let's see if I can play it and see if it'll let me. Oh, you can't hear it. Let me just go back and see if I can.
His name is Alan Ritchson.
You know what? We will play it on the show another time. But yeah, he can sing. He's a very, very good singer. He's a very intelligent man. And I just hope, fingers crossed for him, that this film really delivers because, I just don't want it to be the same as all the other Alien movies out there. This is why. Have you ever seen a movie called Skyline?
I have, and the sequels.
Yeah. So I had the director on. This is quite a few years ago, and the one thing I said to him is that he's taken something that so many people have made versions of and made it completely different. This complete world, and I just thought it was amazing. The first one, especially, I thought was astonishing. Very, very good, and on an extremely low budget as well, may I add. Very low budget. And then we go on to the next piece of news, which dropped yesterday. So, tragically, Martin Short's daughter passed away. When news like this comes out, it always shocks me but it also reminds me that we're all human, because you automatically think that obviously she's got no money troubles. We would think, because Martin Short. and having a dad like him, it must be amazing. But this is where we don't know what happens behind closed doors. We see these celebrities and the families on the red carpet like that, looking like they've got no worries in the world. But she was found in a Hollywood Hills home, and the authorities are treating it as suicide by self-inflicted gunshot wound. She was a clinical social worker and mental health advocate, largely out the spotlight as well. And rightly so, Martin Short has asked for his privacy, and I hope they do give it to him. I mean, what's your view on the whole thing? I mean, do you feel that we need to maybe talk a bit more? I mean, is there anything that we can do as society to try and get a grip on these sort of things happening?
Yeah, I think talking's always a big one. I mean, we're probably of a generation that didn't so much, that we buried a lot of stuff down, especially as youngsters. It was suck it up and get on, stiff upper lip, as us Brits say. So it is good to see things improving on that front, and people talking about mental health and people addressing things. And because a lot of the time when we don't talk, it doesn't make things better. It doesn't. Things only get worse. I used to do some psychology stuff when I was a little bit younger. I used to do a course in psychology that helped people with affirmations and moving towards excellence. And it's incredible how, if we continue to tell ourselves bad things, then it just adds up. It's like a scale, and just having a conversation with somebody, you can take weights off that scale. It's not going to repair everything, but just talking can really help. Even if the person doesn't have anything to say back to you, just letting you speak and letting you share how you feel can normalize that and make you feel a bit more human. Understanding that people go through a lot of the same things without talking. I'm not saying that's necessarily what's happened here. Where, like you say, we don't know what goes on in the background. We don't know about her private life or her relationships and what have you. And just because people have money or have security doesn't mean they don't have troubles. And depression is a very powerful thing. So hopefully,
it is. And what's really sad is Martin's wife passed away, I think, in 2012 or something like that, and obviously they adopted Catherine and her brother Oliver at such a young age as well. So for any parent to go through this, it's heartbreaking, and at only 42. And the thing is that I'm looking at like sort of her information and the fact that she was a mental health advocate and she worked in that sector as well, and it's how it contrasts between a private life and what she did. And it just shows that sometimes you can give the best advice to everyone, but you don't know what's going on inside. I'm always great for that. I'm always giving the best advice, but do I give my own, like, myself advice? No. But it's really, really sad. And our thoughts and prayers go out to the Short family. And hopefully they heal over time, and messages like this and situations like this gets conversations going, and that's what it's about. So, and then the next thing I want to talk about is the BAFTAs, because I think this is everyone knows it's a British version of the Oscars, and the controversy around it is global at the moment. And I know that we've got very strong views around it, not because it's our English awards, but it's more about the principle of the fact. So I'm going to bring up a picture now of if I can find it. There we go. So obviously Delroy Lindo and Michael B. Jordan. So to give you like a bit of background, so there's a film out now in the UK called I Swear. It's yet to be released in the US. So this might be part of the reason why, people are not getting sort of the message. So I Swear is a true story. It's a biopic of a gentleman called John Davison, who has got Tourette's syndrome, and it follows his life during, I think, the late 70s, early 80s, and his life going through with that condition. And, you know, in the film, he gets beaten up, he gets harassed by the police, because at that time, people didn't really know what the syndrome was. So obviously, this film has done very well. It's won some awards. The lead actor who plays him in the film won an award for, I think, Best Actor, if I'm right in saying.
Yeah, Best Actor.
But John was there. John was there in the audience. He's got Tourette's syndrome. Anyone can guess what's going to happen next. You know, Tourette's is triggered if you're nervous, excited, and if you're in an environment around you that's quite stressful, you're going to say things. And Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo are on presenting, and then it's heard over their mics, John saying the N-word, and it started this massive conversation. And I've got to say, it's not a great conversation because it's very one-sided. What is your view on the whole situation? Because I know mine, which I'll go over in a second. But what's your view on what's actually happened after the BAFTAs?
So it's a funny one because I watched years ago. There was a documentary, Teenage Tourette's Camp. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but that was showed a lot of teenagers. They all went to this camp and they were dealing with Tourette's, and like you say, often the syndrome compulses them to say the absolute worst thing you could say at any one time. They don't mean it, but they're compulsed to do and say things that are inappropriate, massively inappropriate. Not done with malice and not done with hate, but out of the fact that it is so inappropriate. And obviously, this is, not the place to be saying anything. There's no place to be saying that, because that word shouldn't be used by anybody, in my opinion, regardless of color or creed. But I think the response to it, that's the thing I struggle with, because it feels like there's been some comments online by famous people that have kind of undermined the work that this movie and a lot of work that Tourette's charities have done to try and raise awareness has been massively undermined by somewhat uninformed people making very public comments.
Yeah, I mean, I bring a picture up there. So Jamie Foxx is one of them. Out of all the words you could have said, Tourette's makes you say that. And then obviously people have commented on that, and he said, no, he meant it. And then he's put unacceptable. A lot of people fired back at Jamie Foxx on social media saying the condition is involuntary, which means you can't, it's you can't control it. And it's just frustrating because, again, this film that's out, I Swear, is all about his journey on people not understanding his condition and having this misconception of what it means to have Tourette's. So it's quite contradictory, I've got to say. And then he did release a statement. I'm just going to get it up here for me to read, because after the BAFTAs, so a lot of the controversy as well was the BAFTAs kept that in by accident. So during the recording, they kept that in, because my initial reaction was, really, surely, if you've got people on the stage and you've got the mics, how can someone's voice be heard in the audience if the sound's being done correctly? But unfortunately, they slipped it in by accident. But John Davison said, I can only add that I am and always have been deeply mortified if anyone considers my involuntary tics to be intentional or carry any meaning. Because people aren't thinking about him. I know what he said was a term, a phrase that is very hurtful by a lot of this world, and I completely agree. That word should never be used, full stop. And I don't think that word should be used as a word of affection between certain cultures. It should just be stopped. So I sympathise for the people that was affected by it. And also, Delroy Lindo did speak out to Vanity Fair and said that he and Jordan did what we had to do, referring to the pair continued to present on stage despite the slur being heard across the auditorium. Lindo added that he wished someone from BAFTA spoke to them afterwards.
Yeah.
So I think part of the issue is that it was just covered covered over and not addressed. But the BBC did come out and apologise for it and just said that, you know, they will learn from it. But do you think, even though all this negativity, do you think, I mean, I'm always looking at the silver lining of the cloud. Do you think this could be potentially a good thing for the Tourette's community? Because it's literally exposed this syndrome worldwide, you know, to the world to understand it a bit better.
Hopefully the movie itself, the film gets a larger audience now. More people see it because they're intrigued to understand that. And I think that context to it would help people's understanding. I think Jamie Foxx needs to watch that movie and understands a little bit more before he runs his mouth off about these things. Yeah. You know, I appreciate that, you know, if you faced that a high level of abuse as a kid and even as an adult, that it is going to be hurtful to hear those words being said. But again, it's contextual, isn't it? Was it said in anger? Was it said, as a slur? Somebody's not going to do that in a film about their own life in order, intentionally to try and, cause problems, because it's not going to do any good for the movie itself. You know, he's going to want to promote that in the best possible light. So I think I can only hope that more people will now watch it and will understand a little bit more about the condition and what that means for people, and the struggle that people go through just to try and have a normal life with such a debilitating condition.
Well, I just hope to God that Jamie Foxx isn't the person running his own social media. That's all I can say. Because like the people that have Tourette's, they can't help it. Like, people can't help what colour they are, what race they are. But hate is hate. And, you know, you shouldn't be putting hateful comments to someone that can't help what they are or what they have. And I just think that the world needs to be a kinder, more beautiful place where we're kind to each other. And it just frustrates the hell out of me. But do you know what? I'm sure that everyone's going to get over it. There's bigger problems in this world. And I hope that Tourette's syndrome gets a new platform where people are going to get educated. And I just hope that Jamie Foxx, and I'm only picking on Jamie Foxx because he's the one that's been more vocal about it, learns, and someone from his management takes him aside and say, look, this is what Tourette's is. This guy couldn't help it. Yeah, it was the wrong thing, but it's not his fault. And hopefully he'll learn and apologize. Because you know what? Life is short, and that leads us on to the next section. So, again, so many great performers, actors, husbands and fathers are passing away this week. And Eric Dane, which is shocking for me because it feels only the other week I was watching him on Countdown, which was a series he did with Jensen Ackles, which was absolutely stunning. And I was gutted that we didn't get a second season announcement. And he was struggling mobility-wise in the way of his left arm. But then he's just passed away from ALS. So, I mean, I don't know if you've seen the interview on Netflix.
I haven't, to be honest.
It's heartbreaking.
I know what a terrible condition ALS is and how quickly it can take hold of people. And, it's just one of the most awful conditions, one that I hope they find some way of preventing or massively slowing down, because it is just an awful, awful condition.
Yeah. I mean, in the Netflix interview, he does like a 5-minute message to his daughters. And I tell you what, I couldn't keep it together. I cried my eyes out because I've got a daughters. You've got a daughter and a son, and just to think that this is a message that they're going to watch, and how do you sum up their life lessons in just 5 minutes? It's just incredible to watch, and we all remember him from Grey's Anatomy or The Ship, or I think he was in X-Men as well, if I remember rightly. I'm sure he's an X-Men. But it's really sad. And then, again, a lot of controversy. A GoFundMe page has been made up for support of his daughters and his wife. Do you think that these celebrities should have GoFundMe pages? What's your view on that? Anyone watching, if you've got a view, comment and we'll see it. What's your view? Do you think celebrities should be asking for money on a GoFundMe after they pass away?
Yeah.
I mean, what's your view?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because, I mean, we talked about this because, obviously, the sad passing of James Van Der Beek last week we talked about. And, that is really difficult. But what we also remember is that the medical treatment in the US costs a lot of money. And a lot of actors are not as rich as we think they are. No idea what his net worth was, but that can be drained massively. And if you suddenly don't have a breadwinner in the house, and you may have remortgaged to pay for medical bills to cover stuff maybe insurance doesn't. You could suddenly be in a position where you could lose your house. You could, and I guess they're wanting to take care of the family and the kids. I don't know the situation, whether that's the case or not. So it's a really difficult one because you kind of say, well, you're using the platform to get something that no one else could get. Plenty of other people in the world get these things and they have to make do.
Yeah.
And there are charities out there that will help people, but sometimes the optics can look a little bit distasteful. Like, there's almost a begging bowl out there, the people that perhaps don't need it. But again, we don't really know what the situation is financially there.
I think after the James Van Der Beek GoFundMe, when this one was started by Eric Dane's, I think family or spouse, it was actually paused by GoFundMe just briefly to go through verification checks, and rightly so, because people were donating $20,000-$30,000 at a time. But no, it's continuing now. So if you look online, you'll see it, and it continues with Rebecca Gayhartz as the beneficiary. But yeah, I mean, as you said, they're not always wealthy after the medical bills, and actors don't actually earn that much money. I think that when the SAG strikes happened, I don't know if you remember back when the SAG strikes happened. The head of SAG at the time, I forgot her name now. She played the nanny in the early 90s. Awesome actress. And she was saying that like literally, I think it was like 89% of working actors in America that are members of SAG aren't earning enough to get health cover.
Yeah.
So literally, there's only a very small percentage of actors in America that are above that breadline. And it's shocking to think, because we see them as viewers as these amazing, famous people that are on red carpets, that are getting into limousines and everything like that. But unfortunately, that's a circus, isn't it? That's what they want us to see, and it's not them, it's their management, it's the studios. So, what? I wish him all the well, all the luck, and it's very sad that he's left his daughters behind, and I think that his daughters will see people donating and thinking, the world is kind, and it's going to support them, because I'm sure that if he was still with us, he'll be working so hard to support his daughters, like me and you do with our kids. So he'll be doing the same, and now he will not have that. So I think in his honor, this GoFundMe page isn't a bad thing, and I just hope that people just continue to be kind and donate. And again, it will bring awareness to ALS, because that is something that is affecting a lot of people. And he got diagnosed only last year.
Yeah.
Last year.
So
and it's just
And you know
awful.
what? If you don't like the GoFundMe thing, no one's making you donate. Do you know what I mean? It is completely voluntary. So, if you don't like it and you think it's distasteful, don't contribute. It's fine. But if people want to, then that option is there. And you know what? So it's horses for courses. Let people live their lives how they want to do it. And if it it may put some kids through college, it might help them to get established. Then I'm sure he'd want to have done that himself, but unfortunately, he's not going to be not in the position to do that now. So
very wise words. Very wise words. If you don't like it, just look away. Just don't bother. But then don't take your energy to go out your way to say something horrible. It just doesn't make sense. It really does.
A lot of that on the World Wide Web these days.
Yeah. And then one of the greatest films, with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, the famous film where it was rumored they were never in the same room together, but yet they had a scene together. We're talking about Heat and the sequel. This has been in the talks for so long. There's been so many people attached to it. We know that Leonardo DiCaprio is going to be in the film. Again, we don't know who's playing who. Well, I don't. So if anyone knows who's playing who, please let me know. But there's been some new casting. So our local boy in the UK, local being, I think he's from Luton originally, isn't he? Or is it Tottenham?
Wales, isn't it? I thought he was Welsh.
No, he's not Welsh, is he? I thought he's from Tottenham. He talks with like a right. I've got to look at this now. Christian Bale. Is he?
If anybody can confer for us, let us know in the comments.
He is Welsh.
Thank you.
Hey, but he doesn't speak with a Welsh accent though. Every time I hear him, like speaking normally, he sounds like he's from South. Like not Essex, but sort of around that
down that way. Yeah.
These actors.
I think that's just maybe where he's lived a lot of his life. I mean, he didn't sound particularly Welsh or English in Batman or American Psycho or various other movies he's made. So maybe he's just got one of those voices where he adapts to wherever he is.
Yeah, but that aside, an amazing actor. I think he's incredible. I love how he's like a chameleon with characters. And this Heat movie, this sequel, do you think it's going to be one of those films where the hype is going to be bigger than the actual film itself?
Well, you kind of hope not with these things, right? So there's not many films where the sequel are as good, if not better. Godfather, maybe arguably. Some people say about Empire Strikes Back. There's a few, but you can't name many where the second one outshines the first. So I just hope that it has some of the originals sort of intensity, might even say heat. So fingers crossed. They've got the cast there for it. Let's hope that the script's up to the job, and we get a continuation of that story or a new story in the same universe.
I'm just thinking about sequels, and I just thought, what about Scooby-Doo 2?
Was that the one with the island?
Yeah. Was that better than the first one?
It's difficult to say. You'd have to ask some of the cast, I think, on that one.
But no, I mean, I loved the fact that the scene with the table with both of them at, and I don't know if I'm right in saying this, so please, anyone watching, correct me if I'm wrong, but apparently they weren't in the same scene together at the same time, so they had to film it like one of them across the table, then they had to film it from the other side and use like a body double for the back of the head. Because they had trouble with scheduling or something like that to get them in the same room together. But imagine if they did, and you were on that camera, and you had Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. Don't get me wrong. There's some amazing actors around, Bale being one of them. But they are like sort of our OG sort of actors that we grew up watching. But yeah, I mean, I cannot wait for Heat 2. But news wise, Mortal Kombat has released a new trailer today.
Yes.
Johnny Cage, they released it like literally an hour ago. I got the email from Warner Brothers and I watched it and I thought that was good. The Mummy by Lee Cronin looks creepy as hell. I mean, it looks like, I mean, you can tell it's from the producers of Weapons for a start. I don't know if you've seen Weapons.
I haven't yet, but the plan is to. Yeah, it does look very creepy.
It's very good. It is creepy as well. But what have you got planned for the week ahead? Any films or shows that you're looking at checking out?
Hoping to, like I said before at the beginning, hoping to see a bit of Scrubs, so that'll be good. I've been, we talked about this show before, Star Trek, Starfleet Academy. Been enjoying that. Interesting episode this week with a possible wedding and things. So that's interesting. But I do enjoy it. Very different. I noticed there was a lot of swearing in this episode, which you don't normally get in Star Trek. But
really?
yeah, there was a lot of shits. There was a lot of shits mentioned in,
lots of giggles.
Yeah, so S-bombs dropped all around the place. So, but it's interesting because it's one of these divisive shows where it's quite a forward-thinking show. It always has been, right back to the 60s.
Yeah.
And I mean, we touched on this the other week. But I find that intriguing. They're willing to push boundaries, and they're saying, look, this is hundreds of years, nearly 1,000 years in the future. Compared to our times, maybe we've enlightened ourselves just a little bit in that time, and we aren't quite as judgmental, and the weirdest thing people find is like a gay Klingon is the weirdest thing people are worried about, when yet the you've got space travel, people transporting and beaming from places and all sorts of aliens, but the weirdest thing is that there might be an alien that was gay.
Yeah, they're fine with everything else.
Yeah, if that's upsetting people, then what's that all about? So, I just try and enjoy the show for what it is, for its characters and what have you. So, yeah, but I'm just looking forward to lots of things coming through the summer. Hopefully going to give War Machine a check when that comes out in the next 10 days or so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just excited for, a summer of hopefully some blockbusters out there.
And with HBO Max coming to the UK, definitely The Pit is one to look out for. An amazing show. And also check out, for anyone watching that don't realise, I interview for another channel as well, SWAU, which is SWAU. That's how you spell it. And I had Dorothy from Wicked for Good on, and then I had Fabian Therese and Rod Blackhurst, who are the director and star of Dolly, which for all the horror fans out there, it's the most violent, most graphic horror film I've ever seen, Steve. Not only am I afraid of dolls, China dolls, but
I remember going back to when we were just teenagers many years ago, and us going up to Blockbusters near your house and getting movies out. And you weren't a fan of horror, but even back then, not really. You used to hide behind your cushion and watch those. So I'm proud that you've come far enough to be able to watch these things. But it's not your favourite, I'm sure.
No, I was eating a bowl of cereal, and there was one scene that really made me stop eating that cereal and put it down. And if anyone wants a really good film to watch, coming out, funnily enough, on the 6th of March as well, worldwide, it is Dolly, which is a new horror movie that's going to be the next franchise. So Dolly is going to be the next Mike Myers and Jason and Freddy Krueger for sure, because it's a great hoot. And if there's anyone out there that is wanting to see certain guests onto the show that we can bring on live, please comment. Go on our socials. Tell us who you want us to have on live, so you can ask those burning questions, because we're open to all suggestions, because this is a community. So without you viewers and people watching, subscribing and liking and sharing, we can't really do what we want to do. So we appreciate all of you for watching and taking part. But thank you so much. I mean, you know, we've got people watching Steve currently on X, formerly known as Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So we've got viewers on all of them platforms right now. And it's scary to think where they're from. It could be worldwide, Steve. If only they would comment on exactly where they're from, we would know. Obviously, we don't want your address or postcode or bank account details, just roughly where you're from. But thank you anyway. So I think we're going to end it right now. That is another live show. Hopefully, we'll have a live guest for next week. That is yet to be confirmed. We've got some amazing ones lined up, some really good ones lined up. So I'm really excited. So everyone watching, if you haven't already subscribed or liked, please hit that button. It helps us out massively. But thank you everyone for watching. Steve, my co-host, my brother from another mother, thank you so much for being here with me on this journey once again. And we'll speak next week.
Yeah, thanks all. Have a great one.